Hey, everybody. My name's Nathan Boot. I'm a developer advocate for OpenSearch, and hopefully you're here to join the Tuesday, April 25th community meeting for OpenSearch. I wish I could say we had a captivating agenda for you today, but I believe we do not have any speakers. So what we will probably do today is just have some kind of open office hour. Anyone's free to ask any questions, or if you have some show and tell, I'd sure love to hear about it. Otherwise, I think we're just going to hang out and see where the conversation leads us, like Robin Hood and Little John. Anyways, the normal stuff. I'm sure you've seen the etiquette a lot. Introduce yourself, please mute. Optional cameras, questions anytime. We'll kick you out if you're disruptive. Sometimes even if you're not on accident, it's happened. Screen annotations are no longer on. Profiles only show your names, and only hosts or co-hosts can share their screen. Welcome back, everybody, from KubeCon in Amsterdam. It was a great time. If you came by and saw our booth, I sure appreciate it. We had a great time getting to talk to everyone about OpenSearch. Lots of repeat questions. There's still some things about our origin story and various other differentiators between some of the similar products that people don't quite understand about us. So I think it was a good learning experience to see where we can clarify our story as a fully open source product, and also clarify just how it is that we're different, what makes us better and or more appropriate in certain situations. But it was great. It was my first big trade show out of the country, and there sure were a lot of cool companies represented. And I may have gone home with a little more swag than I should have, which is okay. They were giving away books. It's reading material. It's no harm, no foul on that one. So today's agenda is the open forum. I have nothing else for the good of the order already, so let's have it out. The progressive era was neither progressive nor an era. Discuss. No one?
Move on to a completely separate topic, if you don't mind. I'll just throw out there as a reminder, and I hopefully would like to see this start getting broadcast across the community meetings like this. I know that I had my first opportunity to attend one of the simple schema integration and Apache Spark meetings. If you head on over to the meetup page for OpenSearch, there's a listing of the upcoming ones. I think it's very important that folks tune in to that kind of effort, so we can talk about simple schema and different types of data interactions with OpenSearch, and furthering and building upon that, the integrated design work that's planned to be done on top of that. So whatever we can do to help really get, I think, spotlight shined on that effort, I think it will do well.
I think that's actually a good call out. I had the pleasure of interviewing Jonah Cowell at KubeCon, and he was talking about some of those integration efforts and the simple schema and this Nginx integration that's happening. And it turns out that a lot of those signal transformations are being scripted with Lua behind the scenes. And so I just imagine this army of World of Warcraft UI modders coming out of the woodwork and helping us transform every possible telemetric signal into automated dashboards. And so no offense to the WoW modders out there. Lua is actually something that I've kind of skipped as part of my education. I've never gotten very good with it. It's a little foreign to me.
Well, if he's talking about Lua, I'm assuming he's getting pretty deep with FluentBit then, because that seems to be the powerful the powerful language to use for FluentBit to do data transformations.
Interesting. Let's see. Oh yeah, thanks DB. We did have a delay on the 2.7 release. There's a go no go call tonight to see how that's going to recover. We're shooting for, Chris, what were the two potential future release dates?
Yeah, Yeah, we're currently targeting either Thursday, the 27th, or it may need to extend to Tuesday, May 2nd. I know
May 2nd. Okay.
we'll have a firm date this afternoon.
Awesome. So I'm sure we'll announce that through all the appropriate channels when we have some data.
We'll get the
Don't
release.
forget to don't forget to share with the new Slack channel, which I'm very, very grateful to everyone who joined up there, because that filled up quick. I think we hit our user threshold for our plan, and so something's going to have to give there because it got popular pretty fast.
Yeah, and Ryan, thanks for bringing up that other meeting. Like, it's super important that people attend these developer meetings. This is a really good. It was a really good plug for it, Ryan. So thank you.
Yeah, perfect timing.
The more we can get people talking in public, the more we can get the developers speaking about these planning meetings, the better everyone's going to be. The whole community benefits from this. So thank you.
Absolutely.
So I was actually lucky enough to get a speaking slot at Open Source Summit North America this year. I'm going to be talking briefly about anomaly detection, mostly just going through a simple use case of it to just kind of take the mystique out of it. So if anyone has any cool advanced learnings about that, so I can include something a little bit more technical, I'd sure appreciate it. I'm always open to learning even more about the RCF algorithm that gets performed on some of those various dimensions of data. And I'm actually kind of starting to appreciate all the work that's gone into that, because even just reading about the RCF algorithm, it sounds like it's interesting and useful in a wide variety of situations, not just anomaly detection. Has anyone checked out our observability playground?
No, do you have a URL for that? Oh,
Yeah, so we've got trace analytics workflow set up there with some sample data where you can look at some of our tracing capabilities through various sections of a microservice architecture. And that's the data and URL we were using for some of the demos in the booth. So even though it doesn't come with a narrative from Lior like it did at KubeCon, there's still some data to play with there. Sometimes people appreciate that as well.
You want to fire it up on the screen and show everyone? That'd be pretty cool.
I would love to do something like that.
Thanks. I'd actually love to see it. Guide us through a couple little things.
I come through there?
Yeah.
So I think this URL brings up an instance with, let's see, where's the observability panel? And so the various, oops. And so this is kind of what happens when you define the various pieces of your infrastructure. These are the various things that can, where your data can get sent back and forth, and you can generate this service map based on latency between them or error rate. And this is all based on documents being sent from the various pieces of microarchitecture with trace IDs to kind of relate one call to the parent call and the child call. And once that's organized well enough, you can end up with nice little graphs like this. We can just pick any particular trace here and see the spans and the actual raw data that gets sent up into OpenSearch. So this is, to me, this is that I learn the best by playing with stuff like this, having something, an example to go off of. You know, I'm kind of like, someone asked me once if I'd rather be the best person on the worst team or the worst person on the best team. And I'd probably want to be the worst person on the best team, because I thrive on having good role models and people to learn from. And so I'm sure I'm not alone in that. I thrive on having examples like this to play with. So the actual process of embedding these traces in code is a process that's a little unfamiliar to me. One of these days, I'd like to get more familiar with that. I'm trying to find a trace that involves more than one span, not just the front end. Not quite sure how to do that, but neat, huh? We also have don't forget about just regular playground.opensearch.org, where you can all play with our sample data sets. That's there for anyone to play with. Is there anything in particular that I can share with anyone regarding that? Or I'm sure, considering this crowd, you're all very familiar with it. And I can't help but feel as though I'm patronizing a little bit. So there's that.
No, that was cool. Thanks, Nate.
Cool. I see a message in chat.
No worries, Ryan. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for coming, at least just to say hi and stay in touch.
Yeah. Talking about our developer meetings. Thanks,
Yeah.
Ryan. Anyone have questions for Nate?
Related or unrelated to OpenSearch? Is anyone curious about developer relations at all? Or I'm at your service. Oh, hey, look, it's a trace that spans more than one span.
Did you find one?
Yeah, just this one here. But if I can't quite explain everything that's on the UI here, I think I'm gonna keep it to myself. User interfaces are like jokes. If you have to explain them, they're probably not any good.
Should we talk about our next community meeting, even though we don't have anything planned yet?
Yeah, we don't really actually. As normal, please reach out to Chris or David Tippett or myself if you'd like to present. One thing I tried to exaggerate at KubeCon when people were coming by our booth is that even if you end up using the managed service, you still have every bit as much as a stake in contributing to the open source version of OpenSearch, because those features and upgrades and contributions, those will likely end up trickling down into the managed service. And so that's
any managed service, because we have a number of them from different providers out there. There's a number of different managed service providers.
That's correct. Yeah, thank you. We are vendor agnostic, and that's a great point to bring up. Contributing trickles down into a lot of other potential places where OpenSearch gets used. So that's a great point, Chris. Thank you. Do we have any presenters lined up at all for the next community meeting? Has anyone reached out?
We don't yet. Oh, you know what? Actually, Joshua Bright will be presenting something. He's one of our key product managers. I don't know the title yet, but his are always really useful and informative.
Nice.
Current plan is to have it at 8 a.m. on May 9th. So we'll have those events out there and the meetups ready likely by tomorrow afternoon.
Nice. I would like to also stress that there's no solution, there's no experiment, there's no show and tell that is too primitive to share here. I always tell people, even if you just feel like you've done something cool over the weekend with it, I would love for you to come here and share it with everyone, because my use of OpenSearch doesn't always revolve around work. I like to do silly project stuff with it too, and it's still fun to share, because I've been using it to analyze data in a video game, and that's been kind of a trip, having to actually implement my own search bar and then make Ajax calls to the search API depending on what I'm looking for, and telling it what index to search. So it's still a use case based kind of implementation what I'm doing. So it's, even if you're doing something non-professional or even just based on a hobby or if you analyze your Spotify playlist for the number of times the word love shows up, or just arbitrary creativity, if you'd like to come and share it, I wholeheartedly support you.
That would be pretty cool.
Yeah, it makes me think of that KubeCon booth where that game had telemetry signals built in. How many other services do we use where we could be, configuring it to send whatever telemetry is available to an endpoint and then let us graph it with OpenSearch dashboards? Because it was pretty cool. Like Splunk had the tachometer for the Indy car that they were driving in their game, and it was that I love that stuff. All right, well, thanks for coming, everyone. Again, this is Nate Boot with the OpenSearch, and I hope everyone enjoyed their stay. I'm going to stay online for a little bit just in case anyone has any questions or wants to talk about anything else. But otherwise, don't stick around just because of me. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. Thanks for stopping by, San Diego.